समय का सदुपयोग करेंगे और इतनी दूर से इतनी तैयारी के साथ इधर आए हो तो हर पल बहुत ज़्यादा कीमती है। तो हम सीधे इस पे आते हैं कि कल कल जो हमने सीखा उस पे बात करते हैं, क्योंकि कुछ लोग आ नहीं सके या जिसने ऑडियो भी सुन लिए वो भी बताएं कल के बारे में। कल सुनाना आपने क्या उठाया, सब लोग वापस से दोहराएंगे।
The most important point that I picked up is to actually learn the essence, and that should become a part of our lives. It is not enough that we are just kind of just listening to you or reading and we fall at your feet and we do all of that. वो सब basic है. But what is most important is to how did you do it? What did you do? The steely resolve, the एकदम से मतलब over lifetimes. It is not about one life. It is like 108 lives, and starting right from the beginning. 13 and a half years. I mean,
At the age of 13.
yeah, at the age of 13 and a half. That is something that we really need to kind of pay more attention to, and pick up from you how you did it.
You want an answer?
Yes.
Her question is, she's referring to my first life ever, which was in Rishikesh, and at the age of just 13 I started meditating, and that meditation was not an ordinary meditation. It was a resolve. It was a sankalp I took. If you remember, people who are helping me will know what I'm saying. I had told Paramatma at the age of 13, a teenager, that I want peace. I don't want comforts. I don't want jewelry. I don't want anything else, but I just want peace. So, how to reach there, you're asking me. Like what does it take to talk like that? And why one would say such a thing? It's worth thinking, contemplating. That's because we have to go back further, because that is the truth. That's how we realize truth. When someone experiences it and then comes out and says, look, this is how I experienced. If you remember, Paramatma told me that even before I took on the body, I had said that I don't want to be separated from you. Now go back further, where Paramatma had told us that even before you cast a body, the memory of peace and love is very prominent in us, because God makes us, builds us, lays the foundation of a new soul with peace and love. Because God is peace and love. So what if I want to construct something, if I want to construct a building, I will take cement, iron, whatever, bricks, because that's the material required. So when Paramatma wanted to extend himself, wanted to spread his own image in others, so the first requirement or the first ingredient or tool or whatever, the first substance, or I don't know what to say, the first thing required was love and peace. But after this, there is a catch. This is where people fall out. The catch is everyone is made in the similar fashion. It's not that I was given a special treatment. Right? So first is the invocation, how we are born. We want something. So we ask God. That is, I make a sankalp. I'm wanting. I give my presentation, I give my request. Now I'm waiting for someone to say, yes, there's a consent. You come, you want to see my world? Come. And then you know the whole process, that how Paramatma builds us. His own reflection is given to us as love and peace. And the moment, before that, the moment God gives us the consent, there is a tinkle of Om in this Brahmand. It's so beautiful. That means God is counting somewhere and saying, I've created one more being. So the first tinkle is Om. And when the foundation or when the Man was created, the first layer, the first sheath is of Om, which I spoke yesterday of unconscious mind. The deepest mind has the deepest layer of Om. Now, of course, the Panch Mahabhut and Pran also come into action. And then everything starts, life starts, 1 cell, 2 cells, whatever. Now, along with this, the unknown factor, or the thing for which I am very grateful, is that God has also told me that apart from all this, in the manas, I also embed smriti, yadasht, memory. I have also transplanted memory, that remember, you are a part of me. Remember, you are love, you are peace, right? And remember that from shunya or nothing, I have created you. And the reason you want to be created, or you want to have a life and go and see this paradise or heaven or whatever, is that you want to experience me in a different form. You have decided to have this is the term and condition, or terms and conditions, that you have decided that you will like to experience me in different ways through different experiences. So here you are going. And now, until that time, there was no other external force which we were experiencing. It was just we two. Just we two. So, apart from that, then as the body was being built, our indriyas were also installed. We were given these 5 indriyas, because how will we experience the world without 5 indriyas? So we were given the indriyas, and along with it were also given the willpower. The first thing, in fact, God installed was willpower. That look, you asked for a new, you wanted a birth, I'm giving you. You said you wanted to go and experience me in many ways, I'm giving you that. But remember, you have to come back. And I'm also giving you the memory that this is what our agreement was. So in the manas, we have smriti also. That's what I was telling somebody yesterday in one of my question answer session, that a soul has memory. And we are ourselves very surprised when the journey is undertaken. Say, mine was up till the last layer of the manas. And what did I find there? I also found so many new things or never expected things apart from Om. But every time until today, every time I was thinking, I removed that memory. I removed this. Every time it was said, this is end, this is the end, this is the, but it wasn't ending. And then I realized they are not actually cleaning my manas. They are cleaning the memory of my soul. That was such a subtle thing, and if that subtle layer is also removed, so that means henceforth I will experience Akshay, no, not even Chidakash. There is something beyond Chidakash, Mahakash, Chidakash, whatever. There is something which I experience as peace, and that is Chidakash भी नहीं है, कुछ और है वो. And that is an aviral Shanti, the deepest Shanti we can experience. So what we become at that time, we are totally one with God. Now what is the difference between me and others? What everyone wants to know is that I did not allow my indriyas to go berserk. That self-control was very prominent because I remembered I have given you a promise. I've given God a promise. Because I said I don't want to leave you. So it's a sense of deep commitment. But what happens is that while we are being made, the soul gets so restless and hurried. It's like I've got something and I can't wait. I can't wait. But that one moment can cost us so dearly. So, when I was experiencing this over months, I realized that India or Bharat is such a rich country, and what the rishis I felt did something phenomenal by documenting yoga, indriya, yoga sadhana, etc. The complete science of reverting back to our original divine state. Actually, they have not done anything unusual. The reason is they must have recalled the whole path themselves and documented it. That becomes yoga and pranayama. That's what I have understood. That they also went backward, and they went on writing, and that became a great scripture. Otherwise, I'm closest to Markandeji in this sense. And in this morning, since I want to only talk of these things, otherwise, the mind gets scattered. So I was telling these children in the morning in the car that something triggered yesterday. The situation was such that we were waiting for Par to return. So I was thinking it's a 5 minutes, 10 minutes thing, and then I'll go back to my lecture. But that didn't happen. And when someone asked me something, I got triggered. And I couldn't make out that what triggered. Maybe his inner calling, the sincerity with which the person came. And later on at night before sleeping, it's a permanent habit with me that before sleeping, I resolve everything clear. What Agastya Maharishi ji has also said, that before sleeping, remove all the thoughts, finish the day, don't keep anything, otherwise that will become a memory. So, last night I realized that the main thing that triggered in my very deep memory or my soul or something so deep that I was unaware. Unaware means I didn't know. Automatically it was like a fourth gear of a car. Straight away, 0 to 4. Was it the person? Little bit. As I narrate my experience of yesterday, that being in a state of uncertainty and not knowing how to handle the situation or what to do and what is coming next. It was like from 0 gear I switched to 4th and there I go. I was waiting for a moment like this. Reflecting on why and what happened to me and what processes happened yesterday, I told one of them in the car that there was some realization before I left my house which triggered it. Because staying in contact, or not staying but constantly being in touch with Markandeji is a very unique experience. See, I have written about Markandeji as Nachiketa. What a prodigious child, right? Then I have written about Markandeji as Satyakam, another prodigious child. Then I have also written about Markandeji as Markandeji made me write about may I always dwell on that which is like that is auspicious. That means he himself was that. He was always Shiva Sankalpamastu. He is the one who showed me my one one last segment of my unconscious mind. And he said, look, there is Om. You're anchored to it. And then see how beautifully they take me when you were 13 years old, or when Paramatma tells me, see, these are the types of shantis we have. Look, I'm telling you. That means when I meditated at the age of 13, in my first life ever, I was in the deepest shanti, aviral shanti. Even before God created this earth 44 crore years back, when God even didn't decide what He was to do, He never had any desire. That deepest peace I was in. That means we are all given that deepest peace before we are born. But I have traced my steps back. So when our thoughts are so enriched with divinity, that gives us steely resolve. Why would I not like to experience that again? See, you people are merely listening to me and you feel probably you're there. You can like feel in your skin, in your mind, in your heart. So yesterday, I went on a spree, or something triggered, because just before coming here, I realized that I've written Markandeji makes me write, but I also know him through what he tells me. I get to know him better. So instead of saying that, look, I was like this and these are my realizations, he's telling me, look, you were like that, but then there's a huge chunk of wisdom also, which is new for me. So he takes me on the next step. This is the way they are writing our books, are making us write. It's so beautiful. So that's why I was saying, yes, my books are unique. Yes, okay, I've done this. Okay, I'm beyond Saptarishis. Because my experiences are so rich, but they happen in a few seconds. Only to narrate that, I might take 1.5 hours. And then again, I go in a flow. So what I underline here is that it suddenly dawned on me that Markandeya Rishi is that child who was born as Nachiketa in Kashi. His whole life, gets enacted again in my mind as if he's still there. So imagine a child who is so small and who can read the thoughts of his father. And he doesn't read. He comes to know as a small child, I see one dormant seed of thought which is very bad. If that germ or if that seed gets materialized, my father is doomed. He should not be greedy and selfish. He should not give sick cows to the Brahmins. And he is already planning. I can feel it. A child is knowing through his intuitive eye what a state to be in. And then he's also saying, if you remember this post, because sometimes I can't remember the titles which are so long. In this same poem or discourse, they are my discourses turned into a poem. If you remember, he had said that even if I lived a life where my father humiliated me, while my intention was to save him from a disaster. This is what he was. But see the beautiful mind all these rishis have. He actually wanted to have Brahm Avastha as a little boy. He couldn't. He had opposition. His father decided to not only admonish him, to discard him, that go to hell, die. That means go, you're dead. I don't want you. Get out of my house, or whatever we want to interpret. I don't want you. Imagine there is this divine child who's saving the father from a curse as Nachiketa. And the father says, you die. See the contrast. Such things trigger me. That's what I was in a flow, that God is always doing nice things, but we'll always meet these oppositions or these opposite forces. He doesn't die, but he goes to Yama and returns. So he said, Swamiji said, no, this was out of body experience. I didn't die. This was my out of body experience. And then very sweetly he tells us, he told me that it's okay. It's okay. See, if you have a beautiful mind and a very clean and pure heart, you can only see the good things in life, good things in people. Even if something very harsh or very negative is thrown at you, you can't see it. Like bad people can't see good things in good people. It's there, but they can't see. This is what has happened to Nachiketa and his father. And since Markandeji was such an evolved soul, Markandeji told me, and he's made me right. It's okay if my father didn't listen to me. It's okay if he cursed me. Actually, it's nobody's fault. 33 lakh years before today, that is back then, यानी 52 lakh years के time की बात बता रहे हैं कि 33 lakh years before back, I had asked God that you have taught me such a like I know such advanced pranayam, but I don't know how my shwas will behave if I'm dying or I'm just about to die, or the moment I die, how it happens. I wanted to know about death. Before death, what happens, how the prana flows, etc. So those 14 days were good in Yamlok. It was my own sankalp which I got, and thank you for it. This is Markandeya Maharishi. So beautiful. So when I was at home suddenly doing very mundane things, I just threw something from my hand. I said, don't do this, sit down. See, there is a realization. There is this child who's extraordinary. Instead of being blessed by father, he's cursed. And the child says, it's okay, I will die. If you want me to die, once I'll go, I'll be dead and come back to life. May your wish be fulfilled. This is what you want. Fully knowing that my father's next 35 lives are hell. I tried, dear father, I tried. You didn't listen. I leave you. So he experiences death, which his father should have for cursing the child. Correct? And then he says, it's okay, it's my own sankalp. I wanted to know. So God has given me my Shubh Ichha in this whole drama. In this whole drama, I have understood that I had a very Shubh sankalp, and how can my father give me that experience? So I'll have to die. 14 days, Yam Lok and Bahishkar and all that. He says, it's okay. So that day I dropped something from my hand. I said, no, this is not important. Sit down. A beautiful realization has come. And that is that Nachiketa's sankalp of experiencing Brahmavastha could not be fulfilled in Kashi, where today we have Gyanvapi. This is where he lived, and that's where, but God is so gracious. In lieu of being so ill-treated, Paramatma said, okay, you have longevity, you write Purush Suktam. If at all a woman comes in Kalyug, only she will tell the world that you are the author. But you write Purush Suktam. I will give you darshan, I'll give you Virat Sarup, Vishwarup dikhaunga. That's what Paramatma said. And please live longer. You're very useful for this world, don't die. Because his Paramatma cursed, his father, Pitaji cursed him. And he was about to die at the age of 14ish. And near death, almost he died. He tells me, Markandi, that I wanted to commit suicide. I was so humiliated, so insulted by my father. It was not humiliation, it's the hurt actually. So what did Paramatma do? Okay, you live long. Compensated. And then his Ichha, Shubh Ichha, that I want to experience Brahmavastha at a very tender age, and that is only 5.5 to 9, in between, before I become mature, at a very, very tender stage. So Paramatma honored his wish, right? He must have asked that, okay, my one wish, Shubh Sankalp, is not manifested, is not manifesting. So almost how many years gap? Almost 52 lakhs only. Because 4,000 ago, he reincarnated as Satyaka. And then his wish was honored. So Paramatma said, you're already so evolved, you don't need a father. These are my conditions. You just need just a mother. And are you ready for the dishonor again? He agreed. And then the whole story of Jwala and Satyakam happened. And he needed mother only for a few years. That's why she exited at the age of 32. Because he was already so empowered. A child of 5 years sent into a forest. Because he wanted to be alone. And in the forest he had Brahmavastha. And then he became a master and a grandmaster, and he had his own Gurukul. So what I was saying, that day a lightning struck me. That this means our Shubh Sankalp, Paramatma saves, keeps it intact even for 52 lakh years and makes it happen. So this is Hiranyagarbha, the womb where God saves. That thought gave me so much of strength, so much of power, because there is so much reverence for Paramatma, that how caring you are saving my good thoughts, and you wait and you wait and you wait and you wait till it can manifest. And why did it happen? Why did God allow a story like this, where the society abandons a very wise man? Again, Satyakam was discarded or not accepted. So that thought gave me a lot of strength, a lot of power, just to remember, just to recall and understand and then keep recalling it several times. That God is very kind, that He remembers every thought of mine which I have generated on my own, with my own will. He honors them, keeps it, and makes it happen. So, how grateful we should be to Paramatma. So, if one knows all these things, we will always be very, very strong, determined people. Because I was telling these boys in the car that, look, no matter what configuration I have, my prarabdha, it's immaterial. They were telling me, they were revising, they were also saying that it makes so much sense. Like even for us, it's a sankalp, like we are pledging. It doesn't matter what my story is, because everyone is so stuck up with the stories. They just have a story. We all are stories, full of stories. And one of the persons said to me that, Ma, you were always running on a highway, you were always on a marathon. People had issues with you and today they're nowhere, they're gone. Because unknowingly, I used to say, मैं बहुत लंबी रेस का घोड़ा हूँ. You don't know my endurance and my stamina. थक जाओगे compete करके. I mean, I didn't know they were competing, honestly. So, if the mind is so evolved, so full of light, and very bright, prolific ideas, thoughts, and something unusual, then the world doesn't exist. I don't want to wear that heavy crown of gold or whatever, ki I'm a great grandmaster. It's a temporary job. And that's my inner world. Great grandmaster means what? You have the highest realizations. So what have I done? Nothing. I've only received the kripa like this. What have I done? Nothing. And I have finalized, I have finished my chapter with Paramatma, because I feel he has given me so much, so much, so much, so much, that earlier I used to say कि हे प्रभु, अगर किसी जन्म में अगर आपने मुझे एक बार भी एक दर्शन दे दिया ना, तो बस वो बहुत है, पर दे देना, और मैं दोबारा कभी किसी को, like no, the world should not know that we have met. मेरा प्यार इतना सच्चा, इतना शुद्ध है कि ये आपसी बात है ना, दुनिया क्या जानेगी. तो भगवान ने क्या कहा, ले अभी तेरे को मैं बहुत दर्शन दूंगा, सारी दुनिया जानेगी. और मैं बार बार कह रही हूँ नहीं, मुझे नहीं मिलना. सो वी गो बैक टू योर क्वेश्चन दैट even if we miss the bus, so what? Can we at least go back to it mentally and wipe out, wash out that state of illusion? Yes, we can. And the best way and the most efficient way is to always have your mind very positive, always see the best in the worst situation. Remember, God wants it that way, because otherwise how will we grow? How will we grow? ठीक है?
Ma, in yesterday's satsang, there was a place where you talked about Markandeya Maharishi and 4 of his sons, Keshwananda ji being one of them. And initially he was not following the guidelines or the discipline which Markandeya ji wanted him to. Though he loved him so much. So, and later on, he followed what his father was telling him. But that also he did in excess. And so the discipline was again not followed the way it should have been. And at some point you said that later on this part became a sort of, I would not say punishment, but he had to face the repercussion of that when he was in Bengal. And so what I gathered from there was that following our gurus to the last detail in the right perspective is very important. That's what I gathered from there, that sometimes, we either take it too lightly or we take it in our own way. So that was one thing which I gathered from there. And besides that, in yesterday's satsang, as we were talking in the morning also, that the which you just now also you explained that the layers of mind and
Yes.
the layers of mind being the lowest one, which is so difficult to reach, and as you explained that it's only the Guru's kripa which can remove or take you there. So I think what we need is utmost sincerity and following what our gurus are telling us. With, this is what I gathered yesterday.
There is something which is going on in my mind for a very long time. Let my responses or answers be long, because if I cut it short, people won't understand. We had come planned for the first time with a very fixed content, so that we go in a flow, and we also wanted to ensure that a proper recording on Swami Keshwanand should be done. Correct? Because we have such a huge bank of content to be shared with the world. So apart from books, one way would be visual. And more than the world, it is me who's raring to go, because they are such beautiful gems I have. It's only when you're in a sangat or someone is interested or someone is keen to even know that I can take out my best. But yesterday something else happened. This is how we realize God. Till the day I left the house, every day, at least on 3 days, consecutive day, Markandeji was telling me, you have to talk about yourself. So finally I said, what? What? Like, kya bolna hai? As a last note, parting note, he told me, talk about Jabala. You were Jabala. I said, what's in it? It's his story. It's Markande's story. I was a sidekick. He's the protagonist. Surrogate mother or whatever you want to call. I was a sidekick. He's the hero. I want him to be the hero. So as I was packing and saying, okay, give me a reminder. So I was wondering, this last minute insertion, where will I zabardasti fit myself as, oh, I was this. Makes no sense. My focus was on Keshwananda. Finally I got some space to speak, the stage, all the preparation, people are there. I'm raring to go. We had 2-3 meetings. I prepared people. And lo and behold, something else happened. It dawned on me that see how God plays. God knows everyone's sankalp. So in the end, someone said, should we also add Markandeji's photo on the altar? I said, okay, what's the harm? Keshwananda, his son. Fine, rakh lo. Om bhi rakh do. Oh yeah, done. I wanted to speak about Keshwananda. Keshwananda wanted his father to be emphasized and brought forward. There he comes. Because such beautiful experiences I've had, and this post you'll never understand until I open it for you. I have no space to keep more. I'm overflowing. And in my secret and sacred heart, I'm hiding all this. So it was not a revenge or something. I said, don't you know, मैं पक रही हूँ. Don't you know मेरे पास कितना है? ले लो ना, ले लो. I was doing that, take it. ये सोच के कि अभी लाइट आएगी, नहीं आई हो, नहीं आई. So through this we should understand there is a higher power that is governing everyone. We are all puppets, right? So now we go back to Swami Keshwananda. I have no words to even tell people. I don't know how. कैसे बोल सकता है ये कोई, बता ही नहीं सकता ये बात. कितने humble है ये. आप सफलता की पराकाष्ठा पे पहुंच गए हो और आपसे एक चूक हो जाती है. हाँ, आप मेरे से करोड़ वर्ष ज़्यादा बड़े हो. मैं तो उनके चरण की धूल भी नहीं हूँ. मैं तो मुझे जन्म में एक पल भी नहीं हुआ. आप 1 करोड़ वर्ष से इतनी मशक्कत कर रहे, इतनी मेहनत कर रहे हो, आप इतने भगवान से प्रेम करते हो, देश से प्रेम करते हो, और समाज आपको जानता नहीं. ये मेरी तकलीफ है. हम क्या जानना चाह रहे हैं दूसरे से. तो मैं अपना ग्रैटिट्यूड या मैं अपना ऋण कैसे चुका सकती हूँ? जब मैं आपको सच बताऊं कि सत्य ये है. सत्य क्या है? इट्स लाइक जो सुबह मैं आपसे कह रही थी कि लोग आपको टैग कर देते हैं बचपन से ही कि आप तो ऐसे ही हो. ये टैग नहीं करना चाहिए, एक स्टिग्मा नहीं लगाना चाहिए बच्चे पे, तुम तो ऐसे ही हो. वो जाता नहीं है टैग. बहुत लोग उस टैग को वापस से रीइंफोर्स करते हैं और वो मैं नहीं हूँ. चाहे वो स्पिरिचुअलिटी के लिए क्यों इतने तुम कीन हो, वही टैग है जो कल मैं बता रही थी. वो टैग है. मेरे पे एक लेबल लगा दिया था कि तुम ऐसे हो. पर मेरी आत्मा इतनी प्रज्वलित थी कि मुझे गलत ही नहीं लगा. मैं गलत क्या कर रही हूँ? पर एक एहसास बार बार कि तुमने दुनियादारी नहीं की, तुमने तो वो टैग तो मेरा शायद अब उतरा है. पर सवाल ये ना, तुम्हारे टैग से मुझे क्या फ़र्क पड़ता है, कर लो. तो स्वामी केशवानंद जी का मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि ये टैग है जो मुझे निकालना है. चाहे मैंने ही लिखा है कि मुझे ऐसा बोला गया है, नहीं तो वो मुझे सारे संसार में इतने करोड़ों में से मुझे क्यों चुना उन्होंने? क्यों वो मेरे पास 2022 में आए? और जब ये मैं पुस्तक लिख रही थी तो मुझसे सारे विश्व में से मुझे क्यों चुना और कहा मेरा तर्पण कर. एक आप हार्ट लो, उसको आप पंक्चर करो सुई से. मुझे ऐसा दुख होता है. एक सेफ्टी पिन लो और अपने को इतना सा लगता है जब हम तैयार होते हैं तो 2-3 बार देखते हैं कि खून तो नहीं आया है. हाँ, और इनके ऊपर हम इतना अत्याचार कर चुके हैं और उन्होंने शहीद होने के लिए स्वयं बोला मैं शहीद हो रहा हूँ. और क्या गलती है? आज सत्य बताती हूँ. प्राणायाम व्यायाम कुछ ज़्यादा नहीं किया उन्होंने, ऐसा कुछ नहीं है. पहले तो हम कह सकते हैं उनका संस्कार था, वो थोड़े नटखट थे, वो सब था. असलियत तो मैंने छापी नहीं, मैं बोलूँगी भी नहीं. पर वो टैग मुझे निकालना है, और इसलिए निकालना है क्योंकि मैं उस कार्य के लिए आई हूँ कि वे अपना तर्पण मेरे हाथ से कराएंगे कल. तो ये जब मुझे काम करना है, हाँ, तो मेरे पास अश्रु के अलावा क्या है? ना मेरे पास सामान, और ना मैं करूँगी. उनको पता है ये वाला काम ये नहीं करेगी, ये काम पंडित करते हैं, मैं उनकी जगह नहीं लेती हूँ. जो मैंने कल कहा कि जो गुरु हैं जी, आप गुरु हैं, मेरा आपसे कोई वो नहीं, द्वेष नहीं, कुछ नहीं है. मैं अपनी सेक्रेट स्पेस किसी को नहीं देती, मैं आपकी स्पेस में नहीं जाती हूँ. क्या क्या गलती की है भगवान ने उनको? मुझे ऐसा लगता है भगवान ने ऐसे ही बोल दिया कि तूने गलती की है, क्योंकि एक्सपेक्टेशन ज़्यादा है कि तुम बहुत अच्छा कर लोगे, इसलिए सारिका के ऊपर सबने टैग लगा दिया। उनको पता है टैग के बिना ये अपना बेस्ट शॉट नहीं देगी, लगाओ इसके ऊपर सारे टैग। ये हुआ मेरे साथ। अब मैं दूसरी नज़र से देख रही हूँ अपने आप को कि मेरा तो सच में ये तो ठीक ही तो कह रहे हैं, कल मैं उसी में थी, धुन में थी। हाँ ठीक ही तो कह रहे हैं, आप लोग से बात कर रही थी, पीछे मेरी दूसरी मूवी चल रही थी। हाँ ये भी कहा था उसने, ये भी कहा था, चलो तो ठीक है सुन लो, ये भी सुन लो। मेरा ये भी अनुभव है। और कितने टैग लगाने, जो टैग लगा रहे थे हैं ही नहीं, मर भी गए, खत्म हो गए, बीमार है, बात करने लायक हालत नहीं है, और मेरे पे टैग लगा रहे, बात भी नहीं कर सकते हो। स्वामी जी का, यानी महाराज जी बोलते हैं कई उनको, स्वामी केशवानंद की गलती मेरे भगवान के हिसाब से अच्छा है, वो कह सकते हैं तुमने गलती की है, मेरे हिसाब से गलती नहीं किया उन्होंने, जो उन्होंने मुझे स्वयं बताया। वो कहते हैं कि मैं इतना प्राणायाम का शौकीन था क्योंकि भगवान ने उन्हीं को पहले चुना, पूरे विश्व में उन्हीं को क्यों चुना, कुछ तो उनमें थी बात, जो फर्स्ट लाइफ से इतनी नज़र पड़ी उनकी कि इतने लोग जन्म ले रहे हैं, तो केशवानंद जी पे नज़र क्यों पड़ी। हम भी तो एज टीचर्स पहचानते हैं ना, ये ब्राइट है, इसमें पोटेंशियल है, इसको ज़रा बाहर निकालते हैं, इस पर वर्क करते हैं। हमको भी तो पता है ना, ये काम दूंगी वो करेगा, ये निखट्टू है ये नहीं करेगा, हमको सब साफ पता होता है, टाइम पास है। स्वामी केशवानंद ने मुझे हरिद्वार में अपनी जगह पे बताया था कि मैंने प्राणायाम इतना कर लिया कि मुझे इसका फ्लो बहुत अच्छा लगता था। देखो ये सोच रहा हूँ तो ये हो रहा है, ये बात ऐसे। फिर उनको देश से बहुत प्रेम था, तो जो आसुरिक शक्तियाँ हैं वो बहुत बढ़ती रहती हैं, बढ़ी हैं, कलयुग में तो बहुत बढ़ गई हैं। तो वो अपने ध्यान में उनसे लड़ते थे, ख़त्म करते थे। तो वो जो आसुरी शक्तियों को जो ख़त्म करते थे, राइट, तो वो हो भी जाता था, अभी भी होता ही होगा, ऐसा नहीं कि उनका काम ख़त्म हुआ। पर हुआ ये कि एक टाइम था जब बहुत सारे असुरों ने मिलके, यानी डिवाइन एनर्जीज कम है, अनडिवाइन ज़्यादा है, एंड ही मस्ट बी फाइटिंग अलोन, इट्स अ वॉर। तो वो उन पे बहुत भारी पड़े, तो उसका थोड़ा असर उन पे हुआ था। तो फिर वो जैसे थोड़े से स्टबन हो गए, तो थोड़ा से हो गए, बस इतना ही था। तो इसमें क्या दोष है उनका? कोई नहीं। पर परमात्मा को पता है कि अगर मुझे भारत को उठाना है, या ये उससे 100 गुना ज़्यादा आसुरी शक्तियाँ बंगाल के ऊपर हैं, कोई करने नहीं वाला, कोई कर नहीं सकता है, इतनी बड़ी शक्ति मुझे चाहिए, केशवानंद करेगा, भेजो। फिर इतनी महान आत्मा का तर्पण होगा, बिकॉज उनको पता है परमात्मा को कि ये किसी को हाथ नहीं लगाने देंगे अपनी बॉडी को, अच्छा सारिका करेगी, ये सब पहले से स्क्रिप्ट थी। तो सिर्फ मैं ये कह रही हूँ कि ठीक है, वो थोड़े शरारती थे, ऐसा है, या ये लोग किस तरह से देखते कि इतना सा डिस्टॉर्शन हो गया और ना हो जाए, क्योंकि ये कोई कह नहीं सकता है कि ये अगर माया ज़्यादा पावरफुल हो गई तो फिर क्या होगा। कई बार वो ओवर स्मार्ट हो सकती है, आपके ऊपर हावी हो सकती है सारी। तो इसीलिए जैसे जो आज मेरे साथ थे सुबह, मैंने उनको कहा कि मेरे पास जो सवाल कर रहे थे कल, कुछ पूछ रहे थे, तो मैं दूसरे वर्ल्ड में चली गई। मेरे को आदि शंकराचार्य जी की बहुत याद आई कि कितना सच्चा कहते हैं, दे सो राइट, कि देखो बच्चे तुम्हारी सफरिंग है, तुम सफ़र कर रहे हो, ये कर्मों का खेल क्या है, सफ़र ही तो कर रहे हो तुम। किसी की एक्स की प्रॉब्लम, वाई की प्रॉब्लम, तो तुम्हारी सफरिंग कितनी ज़्यादा है, हमें दुख हो रहा है, क्योंकि मनुष्य को समझ नहीं आ रहा है ना, क्योंकि कॉम्प्लेक्स भी है सिचुएशन और बात भी कॉम्प्लेक्स है। तो ये बड़ा एक, जैसे कहते हैं ना, मैं जो जैसे what I feel I see is कि कितनी ज़्यादा हार्मफुल इफ़ेक्ट्स या फोर्सेस हैं, हमें पता ही नहीं है। उसमें अज्ञान है। अज्ञान भी एक शक्ति है, जो मैं कल 2 दिन से रिवाइज़ करा रही कि आपकी रीजनरेटिव फोर्सेस हैं तो डीजनरेटिव भी हैं। आप रीजनरेशन कम कर दोगे तो डीजनरेशन हावी हो जाएगा। 2 दिन एक्सरसाइज नहीं करोगे, मसल वीक हो जाएगा। सो डिसिप्लिन तो एक अनुशासन, तो एक अभ्यास तो उनको करना ही था, क्योंकि मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि बंगाल में जो हुआ, मुर्शिदाबाद में जो उनको संग्राम करना पड़ा, वो सब उनकी तैयारी थी, बहाना बन गया, क्योंकि उनके अंदर कोई दोष नहीं था। इट्स लाइक मैं बहुत बड़ी वॉर में गई हूँ और मेरे को यहाँ चोट लग गई है, तो इसमें कोई गलती मेरी थोड़ी है, वो तो लगेगी ना। पर हम जैसों को बहुत सीखने, बहुत लेसन्स तो मिलते ही, देयर आर सो मेनी लेसन्स। क्योंकि ये अनुशासन से लेके पूरा योग सिखाएंगे आपको, क्योंकि समझ नहीं आता। योग कैसे सीखेंगे जब अनुशासित ही नहीं हो? आलसी आदमी, फालतू आदमी क्या योग लगाएगा? योग नहीं लगाएगा तो डूबा रहेगा, तकलीफ सहेगा। कहीं से भी पकड़ो, बात तो वही है, पहुंचना तो उधर ही है हमने। या ये एक आई सी अ कॉमन थिंग, यू नो, ये तरह तरह के प्रश्न होते हैं, पर इसमें एक आंसर ये है, ऑब्वियसली साधक जब ऊपर चला जाएगा तो पूछेगा ये कैसे, क्यों, हाउ टू स्टॉप, ये क्वेश्चंस आएंगे कि ये मैं ना करूं, या कैसे करते हैं, आपने कैसे किया। मुझे लगता है सबसे सरल तरीका है, सब चीज़ को स्वीकार करें, भगवान की इच्छा पे चले। तो भगवान को पता है क्या करना है, नहीं करना है, कौन सी फोर्स है, क्या झगड़ा चल रहा है, तुम ही जानो भाई। हम जो किसी को डिफाइन करें, ये भेज रहे हो ठीक है ना, वो भेज रहे हो तो भी ठीक है, ठीक है ना। क्योंकि ये आज बातें खुल गई है तो हमें पता है, तो मैं बता रही हूँ, तो ये किसी को पता ही नहीं था। मुझे नहीं, जो मैंने कहा मुझे कौन सा पता था मेरी लाइफ कहाँ जा रही है। और एक कल के एक बात छूट गई थी, वो अब हमने सोचा अच्छी अच्छी बातें जो हम लिख नहीं पा रहे, या हमें पता है शायद कभी छपेंगी भी नहीं, बोल देते हैं तो वो कहीं रिकॉर्ड हो जाएंगी। कल जो मैंने आप सबको बताया कि कार्तिक स्वामी जी के बारे में बताया था मैंने, कि कार्तिक स्वामी जी ने कहा भगवान को कि इस पे ये जुल्म ना ढाओ, ये मर जाएगी लड़की, इतना नहीं करो, शी विल डाई, है ना। तो परमात्मा ने कहा नो, यू डोंट नो हर स्टीली रिजॉल्व, शी वॉन्ट। बट देयर वाज समथिंग व्हिच आई couldn't tell or didn't remember, and that was कि 23 times I pleaded, and 23 times or maybe 22 times, no 23 times it was rejected. After that Paramatma said okay, जिद पे आ गई है, ओके कर देता हूँ। Then the whole process started. समझ आई? यानी जब मैंने भगवान से कहा कि नहीं, मैं नहीं वेट करूँगी, आई विल नॉट वेट, कि आई डोंट नो व्हाट विल हैपन इन माय नेक्स्ट लाइफ, व्हाई डोंट यू फ्री मी ऑफ these karmas. So God said no, in your fourth life, these 3 lives are very good, live that, then very easily it will come. So I exerted my wish, my will very strongly. So I went 1 time, 2 times, 23 times I was refused. Don't do it. So I was still there, stuck. So then God said, okay, let's do it. It's like I want a transplant. So that's the power of will, that's the power of willpower. So just as a concluding sentence, or my learnings, or my conclusion, after I finished writing all these things and understood what my first life was, how we are, what God does, etc., and why God was so kind to me, what all He has done, my final conclusion is that I did nothing, everything God has done. He was holding me, na? He was holding me. All I said was, okay, hold me. Whatever the instruction was, I said, okay. The obedient child. Bas. That's why I'm told that your tapasya is ki Bhagwan ki इच्छा पे चलो. And when in 2014 I started writing about it, when I'd gone to Dwara Haat, I said, I've come so far, I've seen so much light here, I can see so many beautiful, you could say, presence of something celestial, something extraordinary doesn't happen to anyone. And they are telling me, okay, go and write about live by God's will. I said, oh, the world will never listen to me. No one wants to live by God's wish. And then I say, okay, I'll tell you what. Paramatma told me, Kriya Yoga will not work. Start a new wave. I said, I've come that far and what are they saying? Nothing is relatable to me. But the chapter that was opened is still going on and on and on and on. How much can we live by God's will to this extent that you're stigmatized and you say it's okay? You're going to be this mother. Okay. Has to be nice only. No? God has decided. God has given me that role to have full freedom. We have to let go of all these thoughts which are binding us. Our own thoughts are binding us. Our own beliefs are binding us. जो हम खुद अपने लिए कुछ सोच रहे हैं वो हमें बाइंड कर रहे हैं, सामने वाले से कुछ नहीं हो रहा है. So when we live our life by God's wish, God has direct contact with us. God has direct contact. We have direct contact. So this is my direct contact with Paramatma. And God told me one day in 2024, when He was preparing me that you have to talk about yourself. Now I understand why I wrote this. आगे अब क्या होगा वो तुम जानो, मेरी भविष्यवाणी सुनो. आगे अब क्या होगा वो तुम मुझसे अवश्य सुनो. मैंने तुम्हारा भविष्य सुनहरे अक्षरों में लिख दिया, क्योंकि तुमने मेरी सारी बातें हैं जो मानी. मेरी इच्छा में ब्रह्मांड के लिए उद्धार व कल्याण ही होता है. मनुष्य के लिए केवल उसकी आत्म उन्नति, कर्मों की सफाई व उसके मन का फैलाव. यानी भगवान कहते हैं मेरे हर कुछ जो कुछ भी मैं करता हूँ तुम्हारी भलाई के लिए करता हूँ, जगत उद्धार करता हूँ. तो तुम मेरी बात मान लिया करो. मेरी इच्छा में इतनी बड़ी शक्ति है कि कोई भी इसका अनुमान लगाने में असमर्थ है, क्योंकि उसकी बुद्धि हमेशा छोटी ही पड़ेगी. फिर भी मैं प्रयत्न करूँगा सिर्फ तुम्हारे लिए. मैंने 3.5 करोड़ वर्ष पहले संकल्प लिया था कि क्यों न कोई एक ऐसा धरती पर कार्य हो जिससे केवल एक नारी की उसकी बुद्धि व शक्ति का प्रदर्शन हो. नारी का मन मातृत्व भाव के कारण सदा सदा कोमल व ममता से भरा होता है, परंतु उसकी चेतना आत्मा को प्रकाशित करने की क्यों न कोई कभी सोचे. धरती पर कभी भी जब कोई एक समय ऐसा आएगा जब संसार में अत्यधिक लोभ, क्रोध, भोग व सम्मोहन वाली नकारात्मक शक्तियाँ अत्यधिक बढ़ेंगी, तब मैं मेरी गुप्त शक्तियों को केवल एक बार ही धरती पर उतारूंगा अवश्य, जिससे धरती पर मानवता का खूब कल्याण हो. वह अल्पकाल के लिए होंगी. मैं कार्य संपन्न होने पर उन शक्तियों को फिर से उनके स्थान पर भेज दूंगा. जब तक वह किसी मनुष्य में होंगी वह चमत्कारी कार्य करेंगी. वे शक्तियाँ मैंने इस कलयुग में तुम्हें सौंपी हैं, तुम उन्हें भली भांति जन कल्याण हेतु उपयोग में ला रही हो। तुम पूरे जीवन अपने कार्य के लिए उन्हें प्रयोग करो। लोग तुम्हें अकस्मात अपने घर बुलाएंगे और आदर सत्कार करेंगे। वे चाहेंगे तुम उनका कल्याण व उद्धार करो। वे मन से तुम्हारे आगे झुकेंगे। तुम उन्हें अपना आशीष दो। कभी भी अब कोई तुम्हें धोखा नहीं देगा। हैरान मत होना अगर वे तुम्हें अपने दिल की बात, राज व दुख बताएंगे। तुम उनका उपचार करो, कल्याण करो, वे तुम्हारे हैं। उन लोगों की दिन दुगनी रात चौगनी आत्म उन्नति होगी। उन्हें न केवल मोक्ष मिलेगा दुखों से, उन्हें ईश्वर साक्षात्कार, ज्ञान, शांति व तप द्वारा मिलेगा। उन सबको कभी न पहले या दोबारा कभी न तुम जैसी गुरु माँ मिलेगी जिसमें प्रत्येक के लिए इतना प्रेम, करुणा व दया छलकेगी। तुम उन पर उपकार करो। 60 साल तक तुमने बिना एक दिन भूले मुझे निरंतर स्मरण किया। बचे 5 साल उसमें भी तुमने केवल तप किया है। 5 वर्ष की आयु में तुमने एक स्त्री की जान बचाई है। इतने छोटे बालक ने इतिहास में कभी किसी की जान नहीं बचाई है। उस पुण्य का फल अब मैं तुम्हें दूंगा। तुम्हारा अत्यधिक आदर सत्कार प्रतिदिन होगा। मेरी शक्तियों का अब तक तुमने सच्चा प्रयोग किया है। मैं तुम्हें अब और वो शक्तियाँ दूंगा जिससे तुम्हारे आगे का काम एकदम आसान और तत्काल हो जाएगा। तुम्हारी अंतिम श्वास तक तुम्हें सदा अपनी छत्र छाया में रखूँगा। आगे के सारे जीवन में तुम्हें मैं बहुत आराम दूंगा। इतने सारे जीवन में तुमने अथक किया परिश्रम है। इन्हीं शक्तियों को मैं तुम्हें अगले सारे जीवनों में देता आऊँगा जब तक सत्य युग 9950 वर्ष बाद न आ जाए। ये शक्तियाँ तब लुप्त हो जाएंगी। परमात्मा भगवान ने मुझे कहा कि ये जो भी दैविक शक्तियाँ या बहुत डिवाइन एनर्जीज़ हैं, ये बहुत स्पेशल हैं, एक स्पेशल टाइम और कार्य के लिए हैं। ये तुम इसका यूज़ करो, प्रयोग करो और कुछ जो मैं कहता हूँ वो काम करो। और कहा 3.5 करोड़ वर्ष पहले मुझे ये संकल्प मन में आया कि भविष्य में क्यों ना मैं आध्यात्मिक शक्ति में किसी स्त्री को कुछ बनाऊं, क्योंकि वो सिर्फ छोटे दायरे में रहेगी। तो ये क्यों ऐसा होता है कि आध्यात्मिक शक्ति या अध्यात्म में केवल पुरुष आएंगे, क्यों नहीं स्त्रियाँ आए? तो इसका जवाब ये है जो हमारी अभी चर्चा हो रही है कल से, कि ये वाइब्रेशंस तो पूरे ही विश्व में थी। भगवान ने तो एक संकल्प डाला वायुमंडल में, मेरी फ्रीक्वेंसी उनसे मैच हुई या मैंने ले लिया। इसलिए मैं सारा श्रेय भगवान को ही देती हूँ, परमात्मा को देती कि मैंने ये ग्रास्प किया होगा। इस तरह बहुत छोटी छोटी बातें मिलकर एक बड़ी बात बनती है।